Your business is important to you and your family is important to you. You wonder, how exactly can you balance the two, right? Because you don't want to sacrifice one or the other, you want to have both. And you wonder, how do you actually achieve work-life balance? Because you probably find yourself, when you're working, you feel guilty by not spending time with your family. And when you spend time with your family, you feel guilty by not putting time at work. So now you're actually stuck in between the two. No matter what, it's a lose-lose situation. So how exactly do you achieve work-life balance? In this video, I'm not going to tell you how to achieve work-life balance because they're actually a myth. But instead, I'm going to tell you something much better that's a lot more realistic and a lot more achievable. Hey, it's Joe Lau here. For years, just like everybody else, I worked tons of time, right? I was working up to like 86 hours a week, and that's a crazy amount of hours. But at that time, it felt okay because, hey, I'm a businessman. I'm supposed to work that much, right? I mean, how else I'm really able to get things done? So this particular night, I was working really late, just as usual, and then I finally make it downstairs to try to get some dinner with my wife. And I remember her keep talking to me, but I could not hear her and I could not remember what she said. It's because in my mind, I keep thinking about my business. So quickly after dinner, I went back to my room and I was looking at this gigantic whiteboard. As I was checking one thing off, I found myself adding another things back in. So I got really frustrated, and all of a sudden, the door opened. It was my wife, and she gave me this look, right? I know, okay, what did I do? I mean, she didn't yell at me or anything. She just calmly said to me, "Are you coming to bed with me now?" And I said, "No. I mean, look at this huge to-do list. It's not even halfway done yet." And I thought we're gonna have a fight, and for some reason, I have this like fight or flight feeling that, okay, I'm about to defend myself, right? But nothing really happened. She just kind of gave me a sad look and said, "Okay," and that was it. And then she closed the door. And then, you know, honestly, like at that moment, I didn't feel anything except for anger, because I feel like, you know, what the heck, you know, I was working so hard and it's not like I'm playing video game or anything, right? But as I was keep on working again and again, I find myself feel really, really guilty because I'm married to this amazing woman, but I'm not really married to her. I was married to my business at that time. So that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, things got to change, right? Because I'm constantly feeling guilty when I'm working by not spending time with my family. But when I spend time with my family, I'm constantly feeling guilty by not spending time at work. That's when I realized that I gotta make a change. And after spending years on trying to figure out how to have this work-life balance, I figured out there's no such thing as work-life balance. Instead, for businessmen and entrepreneur, you need work-life integration, which is step one that I want to share with you. Instead of thinking about work-life balance, you gotta think about work-life integration. Because let's be honest, you love what you do, otherwise you wouldn't become entrepreneur or business owner, right? So why do you have to separate that life with your personal life? It makes no sense. And also, I'm sure you love your personal life too. Otherwise, why would you even live in the first place, right? You build a business so you can support your personal life, right? Not the other way around. So why balance them, right? Instead, integrate them. So change your mindset. So instead of work-life balance, think integration, right? Once you integrate them, what you want to do is communicate, right? When you're at home, communicate with your family that what do you do for a living exactly? How's your day go? Why is it so important for you to do certain things? Why is it so important for you to maybe skip dinner tonight that you can grind and launch this new product line? Why is it so important to the business? Why is it important to the family as well? So help them understand that what you do is important because of XYZ. Because once you enroll your family to your dream, they're not going to become a resistant anymore. They're going to become a supporter. Wouldn't you wish that your kids and your family, or your wife, your spouse, whoever that you have, that would cheer for you, they'll give you the energy when you say, okay, I might have to miss dinner tonight because I need to meet that line because it's important. That instead of them feeling resentment, don't you want them to support you on your corner to understand where you're coming from, right? That would make life so much easier, right? Same thing vice versa, like this way, right? When you're spending time at work, make sure that you understand that work is there to support your life. It's not your life is support your work, right? You work so you can support your life. So make sure you remember that at all time why you want to select certain project. Why you want to spend time at work, not with time with your family? Because you want to create this thing to allow you time to spend time with your family, not just build, right? Or make, whatever you want to go is make impact, make money, whatever that is, right? So make sure that you have the integration in your mind that you are building a business to support your lifestyle, and your lifestyle is what allow you to build a business as well. And once you do that, enroll your family to your dream, to your vision about your business, so that way they'll be the cheerleader in your corner instead of thinking about like, oh, You just keep skipping dinner. You just keep missing soccer game. So that way they'll be understandable and give you the energy and give you the reason to go for it, and also remind you that they're important as well. So that way you will not just focus on work but neglect them. So that way you both have personal life and professional life and integrate them at the same time. Step 2, use time block. What it is just block out different time on your calendar for different things. The idea behind it is once you block out different block in your calendar for different things, let's say you have time block out for work, then you have time block out for your family, and you may even have time block out for fitness or other things that are important to your life. Once you have that set up, now you understand that in your mind and also your subconscious, you understand that there's time for everything else. So that way when you're actually working, you're able to stay focused. And also vice versa, right? When you are actually spending time with your family, you know you have already blocked out time on your calendar for work as well. So that way, while you spend time with your family, you can finally be present because you know that there'll be time for work as well. The idea behind it is actually very simple with the technique of time blocking. The mindset is what's important. The mindset is understanding that in order for you to truly successful in both business and personal life, you need the other part as well. Because you, not just as a business owner, as a human being, you need both, right? Imagine this, your business is doing really well, but your family life suffer. What good does it do for your life? Not good. Chances are when that happens, you can't even focus on your work. And vice versa, right? Let's say you have amazing personal life, right? You have amazing relationship with your families, but then your business suffer. Now you can't even provide to support the lifestyle for your family. What good does that do? Not good neither, right? So that's why you have to understand that you have to also truly believe that you really need both. So that's what the true spirit of work-life integration, that your business life is going to support your personal life and your personal life is going to support your business life, and that's how you use time blocking technique. But the mindset idea behind it is you understand that this is an integration. So that's step number 2. Step 3, set meaningful boundaries. So what is boundaries, right? Boundary is what between those time blocks. Let's say you have a time block for work, and right after that you may go get some lunch with your family. I'm sure you have done it before. I have done it before, that when your work is crunching, it's like crunch time to crunch time, some reason you cannot finish the work during that deadline to transition to spending time with your family. So that's what I mean by you need a meaningful boundaries, because just by setting boundary like, okay, it's time to get work at 5, you might not get work at 5 when you cannot get the things done. Because as an entrepreneur, a business owner, we love what we do. We are responsible. We want to finish it before we move on to something else. So that's why just by setting up boundary, it's not enough for you to have a work-life integration, which means that you have everything, right? But instead, if you set meaningful boundary, which I have 3 ingredients to help you set meaningful boundary versus regular boundary that you push off. So there are 3 ingredients to make a meaningful boundary, which is EPA. Now, not the EPA that help protect the environment. This EPA that I'm sharing with you is to help protect your time by setting a meaningful boundary. E stands for emotion. P stands for either pleasure or pain. A stands for accountability. So what I mean by that is when you set meaningful boundary, you need to have these 3 ingredients in place. You need to involve emotion that is driven by either pain or pleasure. And on top of that, you need to share that with someone to make sure there's someone accountable, hold you accountable for, right? So for example, let's say you want to get off work at 5 o'clock when you finish the day and you want to have dinner with your family. Now chances are, if you don't share that with your family, you can probably just like push it off because no one knows whether you come for home dinner or not, right? So the key for that is when you set that meaningful boundary, in this case, what you want to do is think about the emotion that involved when you do make it to dinner with your family, and which is using pleasure to drive the emotion. And also vice versa, you can also use the emotion that if you don't make it, the pain, right? Which in this case, use the pain to drive the emotion. You can think about how would you feel if you have to say no once again to your children that you cannot make it to their recital or soccer game or family dinner. How would your spouse feel if you have to say no once again after they spend all day cooking for you? So use those scenarios, picture those scenarios in your head and truly feel those emotions. How would they feel if you have to miss it one more time? How would you feel when you see the sad look? When you go back home finally after the night, how would you look in the face and explain to them that you once again had to skip your promise and push family dinner? So think about those emotions, whether it's pleasure or pain. Use whatever that is drives you, makes you feel to set that meaningful boundary. The last thing is share with them that you're coming home, right? Let them hold you accountable. Better yet, ask them to call you the time they're supposed to leave to remind you that you promised to go to dinner with them. So that way you fulfill that 3 ingredient. You have emotionally in place, whether the emotion is driving either pleasure or pain, and on top of that, you have accountability because your loved one will hold you accountable whether you're gonna show up this time or not. When you implement this 3-step properly, you now have the work-life integration. And the result, you have a business life that supports your personal life, and you have a personal life that supports your business life. And that's the ultimate dream. If you like this video, I'd like to invite you to join my free webinar where I'm gonna share with you 3 secrets on how to work less and make more. So click the link below, register for the webinar, and I'll see you there. You're amazing, you have a million. When you set meaningful boundary, you didn't have these share. When you are spending time, when you like this way, right? You probably well, actually, cut that.